and were forced to throw. And the Gators just came after and got Troy Smith, it seemed like, just about every single snap, but they never got back to that running game.
And this Ohio State team is not equipped to throw the ball on every down in the second half. They're not built that way. Wide receivers have to find a way to make plays on the perimeter and defeat the one-on-one coverage Bo Pelini is going to show them.
LSU to get the football to begin the second half. Ohio State, if you're just joining us, jumped in front in this game 10-0. They have given up 24 points since without an answer. Trendon Holiday will take a knee. Let's send it downstairs to Chris Myers.
Thanks, Tom. I spoke with both coaches at halftime. A very calm Jim Tressel reminded his team that we got out to the lead. We're capable. We have to get back to basics. Run the football. Don't panic. That was his message to the Buckeyes. Les Miles, very fired up, high-fiving Dorsey on his way out of the tunnel. Said, we're not going to lay back. They're a very good football team. We have to pour it on. Let's go back up to Tom and Charles.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. The LSU offense comes out onto the field, and Jim Tressel urging his defense for an early stop.
They need one desperately here. The way LSU took charge in the second quarter, if they go through the Ohio State defense again, that'd be very, very difficult for Ohio State to handle.
Early do set in motion. They pitch it to Keelan Williams. Cuts it back to the inside. A big gainer on first down of nearly 10.
Coaches tell you that tight ends in your lineup have to control the line of scrimmage with their blocking at the point of attack if you want to run the football. Keith Zinger on that play, number 89 for LSU, did exactly that. Set the corner and allowed Keelan Williams to cut inside for a first down.
One play, one first down for LSU. And now an empty backfield for Flynn out of the shotgun. Good protection across the middle. A one-handed catch made by Brandon LaFell. Coverage and the tackle by James Laurinaitis.
About that catch by LaFell, known as drops in the middle of the season. Not tonight. We look at the numbers, Tom. Ohio State with the big run from Chris Wells of 65 yards. They lead the rush yardage. Passing yardage is close. Total yards favors Ohio State. But look at time of possession. LSU had it, and they really got after him in the second quarter. And now Ryan Perrilloux back in the ball game at quarterback. Remember, run game is his strongest attribute.
He only played one play in the first half. It was an option. This time he fakes the pitch and is very close to another first down. Kurt Coleman came up to make the stop, and back to the sideline goes Perrilloux, who got the start in the SEC championship game against Tennessee for the injured Matt Flynn. And a big night for Perrilloux. Hit on 20 of 30, 243 yards and a touchdown. But defense, the difference. Jonathan Zenon's fourth quarter interception taken into the end zone. Perrilloux was voted the MVP of the game. 21-14, an SEC title for Les Miles. Third and a yard. They're going to give it to Hester. And he has a first down. That's almost like money in the bank.
That carry, that formation, that setup, and look at watch LSU. Looks like they're trying to line up quickly for a quick snap here. You got the bunch formation out wide again. You got four in the bunch. This time there's no offensive linemen. Those are all receivers or backs.
Receiver screen to early do set. And that's a pickup of 7. Well, if you're Jim Haycock, how in the world are you keeping up with this offense?
You're really struggling because your strength is playing zone. They like to have their safeties involved in run support, playing forward. The problem is Gary Croton has spread them out with the 4 and 5 receiver looks, which almost forces you out of the zone coverage and into more of a matchup man-to-man. Very difficult then to execute what you like to do on defense. They're taking them out of their game plan.
Holiday takes a pitch, forced back to the inside, and is very close to another first down.
Trendon Holiday doesn't get very many carries, but when he's on the field, see him number 8 dotting the I. Jacob Hester now moves to fullback, fakes one way, pitches it out. And look at the move. Vernon Golston's in great position, but Trendon Holiday's quicks allows him to elude Golston and get inside for yardage. How about this? 3 lost fumbles all year long for LSU. And the running backs, 1. And it was Trendon Holiday in the SEC championship game when he got hurt. And the funny part is the coaches of those positions, Larry Porter, that coach, doesn't want to claim. He said he's more of a receiver.
He's right.
And then we look at it, and he's had more carries than receptions, so he's got to go on that one. But all the same, Les Miles loves to have Trendon Holiday in the game. Gives him a nice changeup. Now it's 3rd and short. What did Jimmy Johnson tell us at the half? Don't get cute, LSU. Keep executing your game plan. To me, that's Jacob Hester dotting the I and barreling straight at Ohio State.
Flynn finds a little crease and is into Ohio State territory, a 1st down.
Second time we've seen that formation from LSU where Matt Flynn just dives in and tries to find a little crease. Joseph Barksdale, a backup tackle, comes into the game in that situation. It acts as an additional fullback to create an opportunity for the quarterback. Nice job by Flynn seeing where the hole was before he jumped into it. The Holiday back there, tailback again.
And they pitch it to him. And he is clotheslined by Larry Grant and thrown down after a gain of, we'll call it 2.
Tom, last year in this ball game, Ohio State obviously did not have much success defensively, but I thought Vernon Golston played the best overall game for them. Tonight, it appears to be Larry Grant carrying the mantle for Ohio State, making as many plays as he possibly can, and the guy showing up when necessary. He's off the field now, but he's made some nice plays this evening.
4 receiver set. Hester, the lone back. Flynn out of the shotgun on 2nd down and 8. Opening drive of the second half for LSU. Under pressure, and Flynn will throw it away. And the OSU sideline screaming intentional grounding in their right.
He was not out of the tackle box.
Intentional grounding, 15 on the offense. Penalty is loss of down at the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
Well, Matt Flynn has not made many mistakes, but that's a mistake.
But watch the pressure from number 50, Vernon Golston, bottom of your screen, 50 in red. Carnell Stewart tries to chip him. Jacob Hester tries to pick him up, but that pressure forced Flynn to unload the ball, and Flynn was not outside the tackle box. You know, you have that extension from tackle to tackle. If you're in that box, you can't ground the ball legally. If you get outside of it, as long as the ball passes the line of scrimmage, you can ground the ball legally with no penalty.
That is the first penalty thrown against LSU tonight, a team which had the most penalties in the Southeastern Conference during the regular season. And now LSU going to spend a timeout on 3rd and long. A big play for Ohio State on defense coming up.
And they gave him his own parking spot right in front of the entrance.
In front of the main entrance?
It says Nick right there.
Oh, hey, Nick. I guess.
Hey, Nick. Senior VP at 32. It's just not natural.
I started working 4 months before him.
Hello, 1 year. Yeah. He's definitely taking some kind of productivity enhancer.
The road is not filled with drivers. It's filled with people. So let's treat people more like they're in our home and less like they're in our way. Allstate believes safe drivers should get an extra reward. Introducing the Safe Driving Bonus Check. It's time to make the world a better place to drive. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands?
You hear car, and what comes to mind? Okay, that's not car. And it's not 2 tons of metal, glass, and rubber. Car. The reason you got your license in the first place. The way you felt about your first car. It makes a kid pick up a crayon. And toy companies make these out of one of these. Car is why we'll stop for a chase scene. Or go just to go. It's back seats and rear-wheel drive. Car is passion, emotion, and yes, even a little vanity. Because unlike other vehicles, car is all about you. And car is what makes a Pontiac a Pontiac. Whether it's the Solstice GXP, G6 GXP Coupe, or coming this spring, the first ever Pontiac G8 GT, the most powerful car under 30 grand.
The All-State BCS National Championship on Fox is sponsored by Pontiac. The first ever G8 from Pontiac, the official performance machines of the NCAA. By Gatorade, every game needs a hero. Is it in you? And by Taco Bell, big fans of college bowl action.
Aerial coverage brought to you by Bud Light. Endless refreshment from start to finish. Bud Light keeps it coming. Take a look at our impact players of the game, brought to you by Taco Bell. Matt Flynn, nearly perfect. 2 touchdowns without a turnover. Chris Wells, only 9 carries, 119 yards. One of them a 65-yard touchdown run. But he watches as his defense needs to make a play. 3rd and 23. Flynn rolls and just throws it right into the ground under heavy pressure from Marcus Freeman. So, after a couple of first downs to begin this drive, Ohio State with a stop.
I like what Jim Haycock did on that last play. He played 2 deep zone, 5 under, rushed 4, and used Marcus Freeman, #1, as a spy on Flynn to make sure he didn't just dart up into the middle and try and gain yardage. At the end of the play, Freeman came up and forced the incompletion. That was big. Sorry, Tom.
To punt it from his own 25, and Ray Small, as it was nearly blocked, and a flag comes down. This will be roughing the kicker. Personal foul, the 4th of the game against Ohio State.
15-yard penalty, first down.
And that is an automatic first down. Wow.
In a sense, the surprise would be rushing him here because you just want football at this stage. And then the second thing is, how did he miss the football when he went to block it? You're taught to go in front of the punter at an angle so that you get ball, and if you miss ball, you miss the punter. But instead, number 38, Austin Spittler, is straight ahead on the punter. So even if he missed him, he was taking out the punter. End result, first down, LSU, and a drive that appeared to be stopped has now been restarted.
Holy Moses. So now the defense right back on the field after thinking it had done its job. A gain of 1 on the pitch to Hester, and now flags come in as there's some jawing going on.
Offense, 97, defense.
Looks like it's going against Cameron Hayward, number 97. He got into it at the end of the play. He picks up another personal foul. Ohio State needs something positive to happen, but right now they have to fight the loss of poise. A bad play results in another bad play for Ohio State. Defense frustrated, goes back on the field, picks up another personal foul.
Well, you may remember when LSU went down the field on its drive to score for the first time on a field goal, they were aided by a pair of personal fouls.
You mentioned already, Tom, the most penalized team coming into this game was LSU. But also, let's remember last year, Florida was either #1 or #2 in the NCAA in penalties last year in terms of most penalties, and still won a national championship. Pistol formation again.
Hester slips 1 tackle, breaks another, still on his feet, down to the 20-yard line. For more on Jacob Hester, let's send it downstairs to Chris Myers.
Tom, Jacob Hester, a Louisiana native, playing the 11th time in the Superdome through high school. He's now known John David Booty from USC since the 6th grade. He listens to Elvis before every game on his headset. The song is If I Can Dream. He said, I know it's a slow song, but it inspires me. And he is related to Terry Bradshaw. Yes, it was Hester's grandmother who married Terry's uncle. And Jacob told me it was Uncle Duck, even though Bradshaw doesn't want to admit it.
Flynn to throw, and the screen is set up to Charles Scott, breaking defenders inside the 5, down to the 4.
They just keep coming at you in waves. You think you've got one guy dialed up. Here comes Charles Scott, the third tailback. Watch number 32 to your right. It's just a delay route inside. Sneaks back inside and gets the offensive lineman to give him a little crease downfield. And then another terrific stiff arm as he slips away from Malcolm Jenkins, number 2, one of the better tackling cornerbacks in the country, to gain the additional yardage.
First and goal, LSU.
And right now, Gary Croton could pick a guy, and that guy's going to make a play for him.
Play fake one way. Flynn rolls, dumps it off to early Doucette. And he's still on his feet and dances into the end zone. Missed tackles by Anderson, Russell, and Donald Washington. What a devastating blow. After you had him stopped, roughing the kicker, gave him an automatic first down, and cap it off with a touchdown.
And add to it a little lack of poise. Cameron Hayward, the freshman, picks up the personal foul, and I think there's a little spirit leaving this Ohio State team. This is a team that we saw during the season didn't miss very many tackles, especially ones not like that. They prided themselves on being good tacklers. On that play, it certainly did not appear to be so early. Doucette with a big move and a touchdown.
In today's luxury game, the question isn't whether or not your car has available features like a 40-gig hard drive. It isn't about sunroofs or Sapelli wood accents, pop-up nav screens, or any of that. No, the real question is, when you turn your car on, does it return the favor?
Like zoinks, it's the cable guy.
Chinkies? Well, now that DirecTV has way more HD channels than cable, it's no wonder the cable guy tried to stop everyone from switching to DirecTV.
And I could have got away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids and your dog.
Scooby-Doo!
Hook up your new flat screen to over 85 of the best HD channels. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
Here, Daddy.
Sweet pea, apple of my eye. Don't know where.
Look, Daddy sent us a picture.
More bars in more places. That's what you can expect from the largest digital voice and data network in America.
You're the only reason I keep on coming home.
Switch to the network you can trust, AT&T. Get our exclusive smartphones, now only $99.99.
Cut! Oh, come on, I nailed it. It's a burrito for 99 cents. That's your part.
Uh-huh. We got it.
It's irresistible. 3 cheeses, the sauces, seasoned rice, delicious.
Right.
And then I take a bite. No, you don't eat it. You sit. You're the nines.
Okay. And then we get to eat it.
No, don't eat it. Don't touch it.
I'm eating it. Me too.
If you eat, I will fire you.
I bet he's great with kids.
Mm-hmm. 3 cheeses, fiesta salsa, and a cheesy zesty kick. It's Taco Bell's half-pound cheesy bean and rice burrito.
For 99 cents!
The All-State BCS National Championship is sponsored by Budweiser. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. By the new AT&T, your world delivered. And by DLP HD TV. It's amazing, it's the mirrors.
Great pictures provided by the DLP Amazing Picture Cam. DLP is the official HD TV of the BCS on Fox. It's amazing, it's the mirrors. Here's a look from a DLP cam on the touchdown.
I thought for a while that Matt Flynn should have just approached the line of scrimmage, that throwing it early Doucette meant he'd be tackled on the spot, but he missed. He made Kurt Coleman miss and then slipped through Donald Washington. And also number 21, Malcolm Jenkins.
.9:04 to play in the third quarter. LSU in search of its 3rd national championship, 1958, and then here in this building in 2003 under then head coach Nick Saban. Ray Small from the 13, and good kickoff coverage all night tonight for LSU. After what looked to be a stop, LSU forced a punt, a roughing the kicker and a personal foul against Austin Spittler. Then
Cameron Hayward
getting locked up with the tight end Keith Singer, and then capped off with a touchdown to Doucette.
Early Doucette made 3 Buckeyes miss to get into the end zone. I'd flex 2 after that move
31
early.
to 10. Chris Wells will carry it out to the 32-yard line. Harry Coleman is still in the game for LSU. Their first-team All-American, Thorpe Award finalist, strong safety Craig Stelz had to leave the game in the opening half.
And how disappointing is that for that young man, because he watched his brother Kevin start at fullback, a former walk-on here for LSU when they won the national title over Oklahoma in January of 2004. He wanted to be on the field full-time to try and earn his own.
Wells in motion. Beckman to throw on second down. And wide open field in front of him to the 35, the 40, the 45 midfield, and steps out of bounds at the LSU 48-yard line.
We were talking with the staff of Ohio State the other day, Tom, at practice, and one of the things they told us is that Todd Beckman's straight line is faster than Troy Smith. Just that Troy Smith's a lot more elusive. That was a nice run, though, by Todd Beckman.
Let's go downstairs to Chris Myers.
Tom, Stelz is still in the locker room. It's a right strained shoulder. They're icing it. He's just come out to the sideline. He wants to get back into the game. Les Miles said if he gets feeling back on that right side, I'll put him in, but don't count on it.
Wells on first down, runs right in to Ricky Jean Francois. Francois did not play the entire regular season under a suspension and came back to play his first game in the SEC championship. There you look at Stelz trying to get that feeling back.
You see how he's gripping his hands together? That's how you tell whether you've really got the feeling. Can you grip the other hand? Can that hand on the side that's numb grip? And until that happens, that's Jack Marucci, his trainer, to Stelz's left, our right, standing next to him. And until he can pass that test, he probably will not get into the football game. Notice LSU staying in base defense, knowing Ohio State will continue to try and run the ball too.
Beckman rolls, throws to Sane. A catch and maybe a gain of 2, zeroing in and making a stop, Jonathan Zenon. Beckman is hit on 7 of 14 for 114 yards without a touchdown, 1 interception, which LSU turned into a touchdown.
And now it comes up again for Ohio State. Can their wide receivers win the battles on the perimeter to allow them to pick up a 3rd and long? Chances are you'll see Bo Pelini apply pressure on this snap.
Well split far to the right. And Beckman has to eat it. Boy, he had 2 wide open receivers and did not see either one of them.
That's what the pressure does for you, because now instead of Beckman focusing downfield and finding receivers, he's feeling pressure. So are his eyes downfield to find a receiver? See, they're running man for man with him. LSU feels again, they can't beat us downfield. I'm locked up. Coach, no problem. Go get them up front, guys, and that's exactly what's happening.
Early Doucette has dropped back to his own 10. A.J. Trapasso on to punt it away for Ohio State. We're under 6 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. And LSU leading by 3 scores. Good punt by Trapasso, and they'll spot it at the 11-yard line. So the Bayou Bengals leading 31 to 10.
You know, every day at 3 o'clock, Budweiser Brewmasters in St. Louis taste samples flown in from all 12 of our local breweries to ensure that every Budweiser tastes the same, coast to coast. That's a sweet job.
The
biggest stars in Hollywood are rushing to the biggest event of the year. The perfect marriage of high-definition TV and Blu-ray.
I think a celebration's in order.
Now, experience the greatest movies ever.
Ooh, I like that.
With the best in high-def picture.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
And the best in high-def sound.
That's gonna wake the neighbors.
High-definition TV and Blu-ray. Your choice is clear. The future is blue.
Once there was this fly looking for a place to land. He sees a bunch of other flies below, so he lands and finds himself stuck on flypaper. Think about this when considering a luxury sedan. Are you making the smart choice, or are you really landing into a trap of conformity only to meet a slow, boring demise? Just ask.
Yo, I'm right here.
Basketball. They need the mirrors.
I'm back. Still ain't got no game.
It's amazing. It's the mirrors.
DLP HD TV. Millions of tiny mirrors take motion blur out of sports action.
Go to Best Buy today for amazing financing deals on DLP HD TVs.
This is Budweiser's unique 7-step brewing process. It's what separates the Great American Lager from your average beer. It's what allows you to enjoy your 2-step process. Open and drink.
The All-State BCS National Championship is sponsored by Cadillac. Introducing the all-new Cadillac CTS, the 2008 Motor Trend Car of the Year.
The AT&T All-America Player of the Year is Michael Crabtree of Texas Tech. On behalf of AT&T, we'd like to congratulate Michael Crabtree on an outstanding season and thank all college football fans out there who voted. The AT&T All-America Player of the Year is determined by you, the fans. 5:46 to play in the third quarter. LSU in front in the All-State BCS National Championship game, 31-10. This Tigers drive begins at the 10. And a misread there between Flynn and Demetrius Byrd. It's one of the few things that has not gone well for LSU on offense tonight.
One of the very few things, and A.J. Tressel, the punter for Ohio State, has changed field position finally for the Buckeyes, making LSU go the long field. And now on first down with the missed cue, you're bringing up second and long. Finally, Ohio State has the chains in their favor for Jim Haycock, the defensive coordinator. They need to force a turnover, though. They need a big play to energize the Buckeyes team.
Could have been that punt.
That was huge right there.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Hester out across the 15. And they'll spot it at the 16. And it'll be third down, and we'll call it 5.
See, if they have them second and long, and now it's a manageable third down. Power run game. Sean Jordan, number 40, leading Jacob Hester, number 18. Look how they lock up Big Herman Johnson, number 79. Just moves his man just enough to allow Hester to follow Jordan into the hole.
Four receiver set. Hester in the backfield, standing next to Flynn on third down. We'll call it 4. A slant. First down to the tight end, Dixon, out to the 28-yard line.
Gary Croton again spreads out Ohio State and forces James Laurinaitis, the All-American linebacker, now to cover the tight end, Richard Dixon. And Dixon beats him inside on a slant for another first down. The spreading of the formations makes guys who ordinarily aren't cover guys have to become cover guys. And obviously, you're not playing to your strength when that's happening.
Watt continuing to run, another first down, and they hand it to Hester, who breaks a couple of tackles, and he picks up 2. Second down and 8 for LSU. Clock now under 4:30 in the third. Go back to the touchdown earlier from the Fox jumper scope.
This is the second quarter, the second touchdown pass of the game for Matt Flynn. You have the 2 outside receivers run inside. That's Mitchell, number 86, and Murphy, 26. And then behind it is LaFell running an out route. over the top of number 2, Malcolm Jenkins. Looked like a zone blitz, and Jenkins just got beaten to the corner, and a beautiful throw by Flynn, rolling to his left and throwing against his body with touch.
Flynn has been waiting and waiting and waiting.
And waiting.
For this night to play. And an interception by Malcolm Jenkins. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown. No, they're saying he stepped out of bounds at the 11-yard line. But you said it, Charles. They had to have a play to get back in this thing. And that's a play.
And what that does is it energizes the fan base for Ohio State. It brings the bench back into the ball game. LSU looks like they're about to apply the crusher, up 31-10 and controlling the football. And instead, they're handing hope back to Ohio State. Flynn in the shotgun throws the route. His receiver breaks inside. He throws it to the outside. So it was a miscommunication and a great pick by Malcolm Jenkins. Coming right at you now. See where the route was thrown? That was Terrence Tolliver, the freshman, breaking inside. Flynn thinks he's supposed to be outside.
And they thought he was in the end zone, but he stepped out of bounds. They'll spot it at the 11 for Ohio State, trying to get back in it.
And they have to score 6 on this possession.
Chris Wells down to the 6-yard line. Let's see if he indeed stepped out.
Right there.
Good call.
Right there. Excellent call. You see the official right on the spot, eyeballing it on the sideline. That's terrific hustle by the officiating crew. Right on top of the play.
3:20 to play in the third quarter. Ohio State down by 21, but inside the LSU 10.
Yeah, a field goal here is a win for LSU. Has to be 6 for the Buckeyes.
And again, they'll turn and hand it to Chris Wells, and he's inside the 5, and depending on the spot, it might be enough for a first down. He needed to get to the 1, and he's very close to that. Might be about 4 inches short.
To the left side of the line, number 75, Alex Boone, and it looks like they brought number 74, Kirk Barton, over to play guard on that play. And look at the hole they chopped. Leading Beanie Wells and getting some help from Ben Person, number 63.
3rd and less than a yard. Wells one more time, and he's denied into the backfield. Ricky Jean-Francois, and now Jim Tressel on 4th down.
Big decision. Big decision. See, my thought process was 4th and short. You go for it. But now at 4th and 5, I'm wondering if you get to 3 and get something positive out of it. I thought anything less would be a win. I guess Jim Tressel's fully committed to going for it here. Yeah, my whole thought process, Tom, was that it was going to be 4th and short, not 4th and 5.
From the 5-yard line for Ohio State, a must conversion. They can get a first down. Beckman throws, and it is a touchdown to Brian Robisky. So on 4th down from the 5, Ohio State into the end zone to make it a 2-touchdown spread.
That's a big league pickup. Because I'll be frank, I did not think at 4th and 5 they were going to be able to get the ball in the end zone against that LSU defense. Gutsy pickup by the Ohio State Buckeyes.
So now Ryan Pretorius for the point after. Out of the hold of John Toma, and it is good. So some life pumped back into this number 1 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes team. The interception by Jenkins capped off a touchdown pass. What a catch by Robisky. 31-17 LSU.
Oh, game day.
Yeah, like your breakfast.
Bergwood, your new car's rolling.
It's not stolen, I just bought it.
It's gonna hit that truck.
There's no need to swear. Hot car, huh?
It's on fire.
Do you have new car replacement? Call Allstate to sign up today. Are you in good hands?
It was all over the place, literally. An IRA here, a bunch of funds there. That's why we kept putting off moving here. We thought it'd be a nightmare. But actually, with Schwab,
It was the opposite. You get this concierge person, he did the paperwork, called the old firm for me, showed us around the website, all that stuff. It was a breeze.
Rob, you know, Verizon Wireless still has lots of really great phones on sale. Got myself a Venus with a touchscreen.
Get excited all over again. Because some of the hottest LG phones are still on sale at Verizon Wireless. Now buy one music-playing chocolate in your favorite color for $79.99 and get one free. Verizon Wireless.
What if we took a moment to rethink our priorities? What if we rethink power and what it means to be strong? What if we rethink beauty and what it means to truly interact? At Saturn, we chose to rethink things, starting with every car we sell. With 5 totally new models and a 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. We may just be a car company, but we're rethinking what a car company can be. Just something to rethink about.
Some men live by the rule of law. Some men live to break it. The best Western since Unforgiven.
You're not all bad.
Yes, I am. Russell Crowe, Christian Bale, 3:10 to Yuma. On DVD and Blu-ray discs January 8th.
Todd Beckman, the touchdown throw on 4th down from the 5-yard line to Brian Robisky. And for the first time in what seems like a long while, hope on the Ohio State sideline.
And how about a wide receiver winning a battle on the perimeter against a defensive back from LSU? Having won many of them this evening in critical junctures, they did there.
Tree puts a foot on it, chasing Holiday back to the goal line. And the fastest man in college football out across the 20 and wrapped up at the 28-yard line. I told you 2 national titles in the history of LSU football. We go back to 1958 season, 59 Sugar Bowl, LSU and Clemson. Paul Dietzel, the head coach, led an undefeated Tigers team to New Orleans. Billy Cannon, a 9-yard touchdown pass to Mickey Mangum for the only score of the game. LSU's defense shut him out, 7-0. The final.
Remember the most famous play that year for LSU? Billy Cannon's run on Halloween night against Ole Miss. The punt return for a touchdown that put them into the national championship game.
Well, you don't miss a beat.
Hey, Paul Dietzel, head coach there. We can talk about him all night and his innovations here at LSU. Still felt today.
Flynn will run it on 1st down, and he is hammered by the combination of Marcus Freeman and Malcolm Jenkins.
You feel the momentum? It hasn't shifted, not totally, but Ohio State has a good sense about itself right now. A feeling, as you mentioned, Tom, that they're back in it, that they have an opportunity. A big play early. Matt Flynn hammered again to the ground. Now they're ahead of the chains. And once again, Jim Haycock, the defense coordinator, has to like this 2nd and 10.
Three wide receivers off to the left. Ohio State showing blitz. And they hand it off to Doucette. And he is stopped shy of the 35. 3rd down and 6 coming up. And granted, we have an entire quarter left, but you talked about at least teetering on the brink of a big momentum swing. It would teeter a little more in favor of Ohio State with a 3rd down stop here.
And I can predict safely to you, I believe, if they stop them here and force a punt, there will be no punt block on by Ohio State. They will want the football and nothing more.
That will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Ohio State jumped in front 10-0, fell behind 31-10, comes up with an interception and a touchdown. The All-State BCS National Championship game continues after these messages from your local Fox station.
Okay, people, time to rock and roll. Your stocks are up, your stocks are down. We have 5 emails. The first one is from Alexandra.
Rise and shine, short one. Kung Fu today.
Thanks, Sven.
Okay, just to recap our schedules.
List called.
Thanks, Sven. Forecast is cold today, so bundle up. Let's move it along. Let's rock and roll.
If you can't get a Sven in 2008, get one of these exclusive AT&T smartphones. It'll keep you and your family organized. Just $99.99, only from AT&T.
Field trip.
I call shotgun.
I call 9mm.
Critics are calling the Sarah Connor Chronicles a killer of a thriller. With more action than most blockbuster movies.
It's the robots.
A thrill ride sure to keep viewers on the edge of their seat.
You can stop running, fight.
This is the must-see show for 2008. Don't miss the 2-night premiere event. Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles. Viewer discretion advised. Beginning Sunday at 8/7 Central on Fox.
You're watching the BCS on Fox.
Bluetooth hands-free link, MP3 connectivity, ELS surround sound. All the luxuries of the modern world. To go, the Acura TL. Acura. Advance.
Take advantage of attractive lease rates on 2008 Acura models for well-qualified customers.
Introducing the Bank AmeriCard Rewards Visa Credit Card. It gives our customers 50% more reward points with every purchase with no annual fee. So all you have to do is use it, and the rewards will follow. Bank AmeriCard Rewards. 50% more points with every purchase and so much more. Apply today for the best card ever from Bank of America.
Have you seen these ads yet? Well, here's what they don't tell you. Imagine all the slot machines at a dozen Vegas casinos. That's what these props would bring to California. And the revenues? Well, it turns out the casino owners would decide how much to pay the state. These are bad deals for California, and they would not solve our state budget problem. Vote no on 94 through 97.
Live Storm Tracker 2 on KTVU Channel 2. Complete Bay Area weather coverage.
The Fox Sports crew travels to the BCS Bowl games powered by NetJets with their marquee Jet card. Third down, we'll call it 7. LSU with a football at their own 33. Ohio State has closed within 14, but hoping for another stop on defense.
And this is where they've been most effective throwing the ball. 5 wide receivers, which hurts your pass rush because you're only rushing 4 against 5 blockers.
Flynn with time. And he'll have to eat it, denied the first down. Really, you think about it, were it not for the roughing the kicker, that is now 3 straight defensive stops against the LSU offense in this second half. Of course, the roughing the kicker gave him an automatic first down, ultimately leading to the LSU score.
Excellent point. And what Jim Haycock has done in the second half with his coverage is rushed the 4 against the 5 wide receiver set, but able to get up underneath the receivers quicker with the 2 safeties over the top. Made Matt Flynn eat the football and forced another punt. And I'm sure a return is on now for Ohio State, not a block.
What a punt by Fisher. He has had a great night. And that one is into the end zone. And Ohio State will get it to the 20. Second 60-yard punt of the game. Well, the Buckeyes with a full quarter to play, hanging in there.
The all-new Dodge Grand Caravan.
No, don't get me wrong. I have no problem with my broker making money, but come on. If I make a trade, they charge me.
But if I don't trade for a while, they charge me anyway. Even sending them money costs me money. What's that about?
Any luck?
Some.
It'll be prettier, bigger. Want to see?
Sure.
The mirrors make bigger, better.
What? Dude, it's amazing.
It's the mirrors.
DLP HD TV. Millions of tiny mirrors make the biggest pictures better.
Go to Best Buy today for amazing financing deals on DLP HD TVs.
Oh, this bad boy is sick.
You like this, right? This is bigger than my apartment.
So what about insurance, man?
I'm with. Oh.
What are you, 19?
Man, get some grown man insurance.
It's time to step up. Your Choice Auto Insurance, only from Allstate. More protection, more rewards, starting day one. Whether you have an accident or not.
Stop! Yo! See, that could have raised your rates with...
You deserve more from your insurance. That's Allstate, Stan. Are you in good hands?
The All-State BCS National Championship on Fox is sponsored by Dodge. Live to the fullest. Dodge. Grab life. By Verizon Wireless. And by FedEx. Go air, go ground, go football.
Ohio State with a football, 14:09 to play from the All-State BCS National Championship game. LSU in front by 2 touchdowns.
We've talked about how important it has been for Ohio State to establish a rhythm on offense, but LSU equally important for them on defense. Their team follows their lead in how the defense plays.
2-yard run by Beanie Wells. Let's send it downstairs to Chris Myers.
Tom on the Buckeyes sideline, the heads of those Ohio State players that were down on the bench now much more attentive after the last touchdown, and then the defensive series. Buckeye players stood facing on the bench, the Buckeye crowd wanting them to make noise when LSU's offense was on the field, and leading the charge in between checking offensive plays was Ohio State's Todd Beckman.
Trying to lead the charge offensively and get him back in this. He delivers a strike over the middle to Brian Hartline. That's a first down out to the 40-yard line. A gain of 17. Clock stops as they reset the chains at 13:30 to go.
Well done. Well protected. Well thrown. Nice route. And Hartline got the matchup he would like. A starting wide receiver against the free safety in man-to-man coverage. He beat him inside and picked up the first down.
To Wells, he slips to the outside, dances over one tackler, and that's close to a 10-yard pickup for Wells.
Great thing about the great running backs have great vision. Their eyes carry their feet to the hole, and Chris Wells loves to cut back run. And he saw the hole on the backside, danced into it, and picked up a first down for the Buckeyes. Those things are designed that way too. Many times they're blocked, get you moving one way, wall you off on the backside for the back to follow.
It is a first down run, a gain of 10 for Wells. Play action. Beckman looking across the middle. It's caught by Robisky. Another first down to the LSU 37-yard line.
This looks like the Ohio State we saw early in the ball game. 1st and 10, not necessarily a run down for them. But because they've run the ball effectively, it opens things up. So we see Terry Robisky, the father of Brian Robisky. Tom, you alluded to him earlier, former MVP at LSU, MVP of the SEC, now the wide receivers coach for Miami Dolphins.
And don't forget his mama, Cynthia.
Who has stressed the educational aspect. Brian Robisky, a first-team academic All-American.
Lofted down the sideline with an A on Ray Small, and great coverage out there by Chevis Jackson. Chad Jones blitzing from the safety spot, put a hit on Beckman.
I think that call was similar to a basketball coach feeling like his team is back on its heels a little bit. I've almost sensed that LSU thought that this game was fairly well done, kind of shut it down a little bit. And Bo Pelini said, we're going, like a lot of coaches say, okay, we're going to press to get the energy back up in basketball. That blitz was to help get the energy back up for LSU tonight.
2nd down and 10. At the LSU 37-yard line. Play fake to Wells. Beckman dancing around and breaks to the outside and takes a hit. Ball comes loose. He was starting to slide, and right when he went into a slide, he took a major hit. These amazing pictures provided by the DLP Amazing Picture Cam. DLP is the official HD TV of the BCS on Fox. It's amazing. It's the mirrors. Big, big 3rd down.
And the camera picks up the pressure as Todd Beckman sees it. Raheem Alim puts on the pressure, number 84. But that was an ugly end to it. Whoever the baseball coach is at Ohio State, they need to spend some time with Todd Beckman on sliding.
3rd down and 4. Beckman. Down he goes. He was looking initially at Robisky when he was covered. He had a stick in his pocket, so now 4th down decision. You got to believe they're going, trailing in the 4th quarter by 2 touchdowns.
Especially with this field position. But the coverage, again, so tight that he has nowhere to go with the ball. Jonathan Zenon locks up Brian Robisky. Ray Small can't get away from Shevis Jackson, number 21. The routes that have worked so far is when Ohio State's been able to spread and get matchups with their wide receivers on the safeties. And they get Robisky or Hartline in the same type of formation.
Timeout. Play clock was down to 4. A big one. 4th and 7 coming up for Ohio State.
Most people don't know exactly what beechwood aging is.
You mean Budweiser's extra step of lagering their beer over a bed of beechwood chips, resulting in the unmistakably clean, crisp Budweiser taste?
Are you reading off my board?
What board?
And did you see what she was wearing? Ew.
You wanna play?
Hey, come on, let's go for a ride in the new Caravan.
Bringing families together like never before.
You know, you're not so bad, Bobby.
It's Billy.
I knew that.
The all-new Dodge Grand Caravan.
Taxi. Let's go.
You're doing great.
Take the tunnel.
Can you hear me now?
Good, cause honey, it's time. Tell him that he's got to hurry. Go to the hospital. He knows how to get their mom stuff.
We test our network every day, so you get America's most reliable network, Verizon Wireless. Now get in touch with the Voyager with touchscreen and full keyboard.
Hey, thanks for the window seat.
No.
You got the presentation?
Oh, yeah, right here.
Oh, let me stow that for you, sir.
Thank you. You know, just to be safe, I used FedEx Kinko's print online.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. They printed and bound 20 copies of the presentation. Shipped it to Portland. They're going to be there waiting for us.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
You have a nice flight.
Thank you.
FedEx Kinko's print online. You upload your document, we'll take care of the rest. FedEx Kinko's.
He killed my son, the director of Saw. Ready? Unrated. Death sentence tomorrow.
Budweiser. First with refrigerated rail cars. First with Born on Dating. And now this. The new Fresh Lock cap. Keeps the air out and the freshness in. Innovation. Now that's Budweiser.
Aerial coverage brought to you by Bud Light. Endless refreshment from start to finish. Bud Light keeps it coming. Still 10:51 to play, but right now, so far, unquestionably the biggest play of the night. 4th and 7. Beckman pump fake, rolls right, and is hammered. The ball is loose. Still a scramble, picked up by LSU, all the way to the 34-yard line. Stripped by Ali Highsmith and picked up by Harry Coleman.
They tried to max protect and run a 2-receiver route. But because the coverage has been so tight, there's nowhere really to go. Turned out it was 3 receivers in the pattern, but he had nowhere to go. And once he had nowhere to go, the rush finally got to him. Highsmith with the strip. See the hustle by Pittman, 49, and Coleman continues to show up. Mr. Johnny on the spot all night long for LSU.
Boy, what a game Coleman has indeed had. Covered up a fumble early in the game. He's made some big hits, big play there.
Going to the game this weekend?
Yeah, I'm on the team.
Good one.
Get in here, son. You make this, and everybody's gonna know your name, Stevens.
It's Smith, sir.
Exactly.
No one cares who the kicker is until you need him. Kind of like car insurance. Are you in good hands?
Okay, what's a 3-letter word for...
Honey, would you run out and get me something crunchy?
Crunchy?
And chewy?
Crunchy and chewy?
And cheesy?
Crunchy, chewy, cheesy. Crunchy, chewy, cheesy.
And melty?
Give in to your cravings. It's Taco Bell's Cheesy Gordita Crunch, and it's only around for a limited time. Get yours before they're gone.
The all-new Dodge Grand Caravan.
Like zoinks, it's the cable guy.
Chinkies? Well, now that DirecTV has way more HD channels than cable, it's no wonder the cable guy tried to stop everyone from switching to DirecTV.
And I could have got away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids and your dog.
Scooby-Doo!
Hook up your new flat screen to over 85 of the best HD channels. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
The dream has never been bigger.
I sacrificed my entire life back home for this.
Now, as the journey begins, which idol will rise? Dream big. American Idol, the 2-hour premiere, Tuesday, January 15th on Fox.
Our Big 12 officiating crew, led by referee John Bible and replay official Terry Turlington, reviewing to see if this was a pass.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It was a fumble. LSU takes possession. However, there was also a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on LSU. That'll be penalized 15 yards from the dead ball spot. LSU first down.
Boy, the second penalty tonight against LSU.
Extremely disciplined. Ali Highsmith gets to him before his arm comes forward. Ball comes free. See Highsmith, Beckman trying to get launched, but the arm is never able to come forward. So the ruling stands. Ball's free, fumble, and then unsportsmanlike conduct. And look at the anguish on the side of Ohio State, just as hope had started to jump up there again. Now still, 10:37 on the clock. It's not over yet. It's up to Ohio State's defense to jump back in again as LSU goes back to the pistol formation.
And they give it to Hester. And he's inside the 45, down to the 43-yard line.
As we look at the clock now, LSU would love to eat up a lot of clock with a drive here. And you notice that pistol formation, quarterback back at about 4 yards, running back at 6 or 7. I talked with the originator of that formation, Chris Hall, head coach of the University of Nevada, and he told me he went to that because he liked the idea of getting the ball downhill faster to a tailback rather than side-to-side running out of your normal shotgun.
Under center out of the I formation this time, and Hester to the 41-yard line, a third down upcoming. It's not been much offense here in the second half for LSU. We talked about, were it not for a roughing the kicker call against Ohio State, it would have been 3 and out on their first drive and a stop their last drive.
Exactly. I mean, one of the 5 don'ts of the kicking game violated. You know, don't be offsides, don't rough the kicker is number 2 on that list. And boy, what a big penalty that one was for Ohio State.
3rd down, and they're sending a house on Flynn. Ball batted down at the line of scrimmage by Cameron Hayward. And one would assume, although with Les Miles, you never assume that you're going to be punting the football on 4th down.
Never assume, but if you're Ohio State, you play alert for the fake and make sure he kicks it away. And don't be surprised here if LSU tries to take a delay penalty, if at all possible. I guess they can't, you know, if the clock runs down, take a delay and try and get 5 yards to help their punter because of the space that he has on the field. Ball's at about the 41-yard line. They might want to take all of it and try and get him a little bit extra yardage to hang it there. They got a little confusion on their punt team too, getting people out there. I would take the delay if I were them.
Well, you called it, Mr. Davis. They won't get it off. They're going to back it up 5 yards and give it a little more time. They're not running any.
4th down.
Obviously, with the incompleted pass, they're not running any time off the game clock. They're just trying to give their punter a little more room to try and get him deep inside the 10.
And if you're Ohio State, I would have thought about declining it, Tom. I don't want to give him the extra 5-yard cushion for the pooch kick. I want to keep it right there at the 41 and say, okay, if you can handle that one, you're in great shape.
Coming up next on the DirecTV postgame show, it'll be Chris Rose, Jimmy Johnson, Eddie George, Urban Meyer. The All-State BCS National Championship Trophy presentation, and the most outstanding players will be announced. High punt by Fisher, and it bounces. It's into the end zone.
See, in college, as soon as the player breaks the plane and is in the end zone, that's it.
9:02 left. 31-17 LSU.
Don't miss a beat. Life takes rhythm. Life takes Visa.
And did you see what she was wearing? Ew. You wanna play?
Hey, come on, let's go for a ride in the new Caravan.
Bringing families together like never before.
You know, you're not so bad, Bobby.
It's Billy.
I knew that.
The all-new Dodge Grand Caravan.
The All-State BCS National Championship on Fox is sponsored by Monster. Find the job that works for you. By Taco Bell, big fans of college bowl action. And by Allstate, proud sponsors of college football. Are you in good hands?
Time for our Dodge game summary. Matt Flynn, 16 of 29, 3 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Confused Ohio State on defense throughout the entire opening half. Chris Wells, 16 carries, 141 yards, including a 65-yard touchdown run the opening possession. But again, Ohio State has fallen behind and not handed the ball off much. Give it to Wells on first down, and he'll pick up close to 4. Clock now under 9 minutes. Beckman has hit on 10 of 18, 149 yards. He's thrown an interception, thrown a touchdown. He has fumbled the football.
But he was under heavy duress on the fumble. He was out there trying to make a play. Obviously, you want your quarterback to protect him. He was trying to get a pass off, and Ali Highsmith was just too fast for him and forced the fumble before his arm could come forward.
Wells splits far to the left. Empty backfield. And Beckman fires to Robisky. And he needed to get to the 30 for a first down. Looks to be a little bit short, which will keep the clock running.
I have to think about moving with a little bit of haste now if you're Ohio State. It's not a place where you're in a total hurry up, but you're thinking about getting guys in and out of the huddle, off the sideline, getting a play called and keep it moving. 2 scores still to be made up.
Well, they're wasting a lot of time here after first down on a handoff to Wells, second down, huddling up.
And then they come out quickly out of a tight formation, or into a tight formation. They didn't get it.
And Wells denied the first down. Ohio State going to have to go with 7.5 minutes left, trailing by 2 touchdowns.
And what's different this year, you remember last year when they went for that 4th down in their own territory and didn't get it, and now it's pretty much the ball game. This one is one where you have to go for it. There it was a decision and a gamble by Jim Tressel. This is one you have to take that gamble and go.
Need a yard, maybe a little less than a yard. 2 tight ends. They give it to Wells. And he appears to have enough for a first down. Clock will stop, 7:04 until they reset the chains. Jim Tressel, the 55-year-old mentor at Ohio State, has guided an already storied program to even greater heights. 7 bowl games, 7 years, 5 BCS bowl games, 5 10-win seasons, 4 Big Ten titles, and a national championship. It's their 3rd title appearance in the last 6 years. But last year, it was ugly. Out of the shotgun, Beckman throws, and was the catch made? Yes, out to the 44 by Ray Small. Clock will stop again, 6:49 after the 13-yard completion.
I've got to give credit to these wide receivers for Ohio State as this game has progressed. There's still times where they're not able to shake free of coverage in key situations, but when they've gotten open tonight, they have made the catches. Tough or easy, it doesn't matter. They brought the ball down.
Beckman hit from behind, and he covered the football. Dorsey, we have not called his name much tonight. That doesn't mean he's not creating openings for everybody else around him.
You're exactly right, because you know people got double and triple, and there he is right there, number 72. And he just beats Steve Rearing, number 71. Jim Cordell, number 64, tries to come over and help, but it's too late as he knocks the ball free from the back, and Beckman alertly falls on the football.
Tell you, Charles, I am stunned Ohio State is not in a more hurry-up mode offensively. They're huddling up every down.
I'm watching the clock. I would just think that they'd be a little more high tempo. You can still huddle, but you have to increase the pace.
In and out of the hands of Brian Hartline. Excellent coverage by Chad Jones. Jones, an outstanding baseball player, drafted in the 3rd round by the Houston Astros. Many believed he would have been a very high pick were it not for him letting everybody know that he wanted to play football.
And he wanted a great deal amount of money, probably more than that slot. Brandon Sane we haven't seen much of. Remember how the game started with the wheel routes? There he is. He's back in the game now, number 3.
Timeout LSU.
And that may have been why LSU spends a timeout, seeing Sane back on the field. 5:50 to go.
Here, Daddy.
Sweet pea, apple of my eye. Don't know where.
Look, Daddy sent us a picture.
More bars in more places. That's what you can expect from the largest digital voice and data network in America.
You're the only reason I keep on coming home.
Switch to the network you can trust, AT&T. Get our exclusive smartphones, now only $99.99.
This weekend on Fox, the divisional playoffs continue in the NFC. Seattle and Green Bay, Saturday, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. And then on Sunday, the Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Sunday, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific in high definition, only on Fox.
Bo Pelini tells his team you have to earn the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. Well, 3rd and 15 gives them that right.
Beckman intercepted by Curtis Taylor. And the celebration begins in the Bayou.
You hear that music in the background, LSU saluting their defense. That's the theme music from the old TV show Terry and the Pirates, where Paul Dietzel pulled his defense. The defensive name he had, the Chinese Bandits, were known as the meanest people in all of the land at that time. And that's where the music came from. And they still salute the LSU defense after 3rd down stops or turnovers.
So now Matt Flynn, the senior from Tyler, Texas, will bring his team out onto the field. 5:43 to play and a 2-touchdown lead. And they're going to throw it. Early Doucette on 1st down. And he is out of bounds. A very surprising, A, they're throwing, and B, that you're running out of bounds.
Yeah, I think B is the more egregious deal there. Early Doucette's a senior. He's got to know better. Clock running is what you want if you're LSU. You've got enough points at 31-17. But what's the other? The clock is now your friend. Stay in bounds. Let it churn. I'm sure his sideline gave him an earful as he danced over after that play. I think we'll see a little more of Hesker in this situation.
Well, they fake the handoff to Hesker, and then Flynn going to keep it himself. Picks up 2. 3rd down and 3 upcoming. Time now for the All-State good hands play of the game. And this was a sack on that 4th down by Highsmith. Recovered.
Allie Highsmith, All-American, the first All-American linebacker at LSU since Brady James in 2002.
Man, that guy was a player, Brady James.
Yes, he was. He's the first AP All-American since Michael Brooks in 1986.
Throw it to Doucette. And did he get enough for a 1st down?
It's going to be a close. Depends on where the foot goes on the spot.
Laurinaitis had him around the leg, and then when he came down, it depends on the spot.
And you know something? I think they're signaling 4th down, but if you're LSU, you go for it here. You know why? Let the clock run. Possession is huge. Punting the ball away, field position, not as huge with a 2-touchdown cushion. You find Jacob Hesker 18, or you run Matt Flynn on the sneak, and you keep the football and get another set of downs.
Of course, 4th down becomes part of the MO for Les Miles.
Yeah. Joseph Barksdale back in the ballgame, number 78. They've run sneak here before.
And they do again, and they do to convert. Of course, it was that Florida game when on 4th down, Les Miles 5 times went on a 4th down call and was 5 for 5 in that huge win over the 9th ranked at the time, Florida Gators. Take a look from the Fox jumper scope. The momentum change. 10-10 game. The blocked field goal by rookie Jean Francois. And the momentum turned around just like that.
He just ran over Ben Person, the guy assigned to block him. He got his right hand in the air and knocked the ball away. And instead of a 13-10 game Ohio State, LSU went ahead and continued their march.
Lynn lets that play clock roll all the way down to 2 before the snap. They hand it off to Hesker. You know, there are people that have been around a long time, watched LSU football, and it's hard to argue that this is truly the golden age in the very rich history of the Tigers. A school record, 3 straight 11-win seasons. We'll talk more about that in a moment.
Michelob's recipe, we're going back 111 years. We have records from way back was draft only for almost 70 years of its existence. People would come from miles around to taste this wonderful beer. We're rooted in history, but it's also really exciting today to be trying new recipes and trying new things. We've got the Michelob Porter, Pale Ale, Bavarian Wheat. When everything comes into balance and that recipe is just right, we get really excited.
There's a family behind the Michelob family of beers. Michelob, crafting a better beer.
You know, continuing that theme, Charles, about is this the golden age, of LSU football? 3 straight 11-win seasons, an SEC title, 2 bowl victories. This would be a 3rd, back-to-back top 5 final rankings, 7 first-team All-Americans, and now a shot at a national championship.
Hard to argue that it's not the most impressive era of football for LSU. And frankly, hard to say that there's an end in sight.
Flynn picks up another first down to the 30-yard line. Let's go downstairs to Chris Myers.
Well, you mentioned Bo Pelini, who went to Ohio State, and he's taking the Nebraska head coaching job. And Tom, he told us that he is loyal to his players here and that he would not have taken the head coaching job in a day and age when some guys take jobs and bolt from their school. He said he would not have taken it if that was the case. It was understood between Les Miles and the folks at Nebraska that he would stay here to coach LSU in this championship game. He also wanted us to say hello to his father, Anthony, watching back home in Ohio. Proud of his son who wanted to be here fighting an illness. Is doing a lot better now.
It's amazing the Ohio connections, Charles, we have seen in back-to-back seasons here in the national championship game. There's a pitch to Murphy to the inside and still on his feet down to the 7-yard line. Let's not forget Les Miles through all that Michigan talk and about whether he would return to his alma mater. He grew up in Elyria, Ohio, just outside of Cleveland. Played at Michigan for Bo Schembechler, and everybody and his brother except for him thought he was going back to Michigan upon the retirement of Lloyd Carr.
He's got to paraphrase his beloved head coach who just passed away last year, Bo Schembechler, because he's now an LSU man, and an LSU man is going to coach an LSU team, and it appears for a long, long time.
Flynn to hand it off. And that is Scott met at the 5-yard line, under 2.5 minutes to go. Laurinaitis on yet another stop. 18 tackles, which is a BCS bowl game record.
The 2 leading tacklers, both linebackers, Laurinaitis and Freeman, not all that unusual. But Coach Urban Meyer said in the pregame show the strength of the Ohio State defense is their front 7. But a lot of the defensive line neutralized for much of the ball game, thus the high tackle numbers for the linebackers.
Flynn rolls wide open as Dixon. Point after by David is good. And you think the streets, Bourbon Street in New Orleans, will be rocking and rolling tonight. Richard Dixon, a pair of touchdown receptions tonight for Matt Flynn. The first time he has thrown 4 touchdowns in a game. What a time to do it. When the BCS started, the first champion in '99, your alma mater, Tennessee. A year later, Florida State, then Bob Stoops. The Youngstown native celebrated a championship. Miami in '02 lost to Jim Tressel and Ohio State in '03. Under Nick Saban, LSU a championship in '04. Pete Carroll in '05. Then Vince Young in an electrifying game, won it out west in '06. Last year, the Gators over Ohio State. And a minute 50 away with a 21-point lead. It appears to be LSU for the second time in the last 5 years.
So they would become the first repeat champion in the BCS era and the first 2-loss champion in the regular season in the BCS era.
Well, we have met some fine young men in this college football season, and I'm not sure you could meet a sweeter kid than Glenn Dorsey. I mean, you know, so highly decorated and everything he's done on the field. But what a kid he is. Raised in Gonzales, Louisiana.
They did a great feature on him in our pregame show. He's a guy who overcame having to wear braces on his legs as a child, unable to play while the other children were playing, until his legs got stronger.
Small out to the 40, still on his feet to the 46-yard line. Coming up next, Chris, Jimmy, Eddie, and Urban on the DirecTV postgame show of the All-State BCS National Championship Trophy presentation of the most outstanding players. And Les Miles about to get real cold and real wet.
And the happiest man in the world to get just like that.
Sean Godet, the kicker, was injured trying to make the tackle. That is Godet.
That was the kicker trying to make a play. We certainly hope he's going to be all right.
And that is not Les Miles.
Looks like Coach Henson. Yeah, that to me that looked like Josh Henson, the tight end and tight ends coach and recruiting coordinator, who got the first bath. Tough evening, obviously, for Jim Tressel and the Buckeyes, but in a lot of ways, they got here to this BCS National, the All-State BCS National Championship game a year ahead of schedule. Picked third in the preseason in the Big Ten. Many people had said even before this season, 2008 is when you really need to look out for the Buckeyes, and depending on whether a number of guys will take early entry, they could very well be right back in this game next year.
Hartline chopped down. We talked about the youth of this Ohio State team. It is remarkable the job that Jim Tressel has done this year. I mean, championship game notwithstanding, when you think they only start 3 seniors and really only 2 of them play regularly.
Exactly.
A junior class, which if they do lose players, maybe 1 or 2, and then everybody else, a sophomore, a freshman, or a redshirt freshman.
Exactly. They could come back with the same cast of characters with a years extra experience. They'll have interference on the play. The covers look like Jai Eugene, number 4, trying to make the play. The receiver trying to jump back inside and get to the football, had no opportunity to do so. Flag comes out.
You know, Charles, I think you and I were both just stunned.
Pass interference, defense number 4. That's a 15-yard penalty, first down.
I'm not sure if you'd call it venom. I'm not sure if you'd call it bile. I'm not sure what you'd call it. But it was amazing all the heat Ohio State took after that national championship game. They laid an egg. I mean, there's no debate about that. They just got walloped by Florida. But it's not as though they were some Johnny-come-lately program. I mean, this is their 3rd trip to the championship game in the last 6 years. And only USC has a better record over the last 7 seasons overall.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was the national stage, and everyone took that as that was the whole thing of the program. Not really true. As we look at LSU now, trying to become one of those elite programs that you talk about year in and year out. They've had a storied history, but even within the SEC, they haven't been the elite program. You know, you were talking about the Alabamas, Florida in the last 25 years, Tennessee. You know, those types of programs, Georgia, now LSU, firmly in that pantheon.
Oh, yeah.
There's no question about it. They'll be the ones to beat, it appears, for a while in the SEC. I know Coach Myers sitting on the set thinking, I've got to take them on again next year, and he hopes to have his shot, as do a number of teams, but they'll be right there doing battle.
Lofted into the end zone, Robisky up into the air, caught it, but out of bounds.
I love the effort as this game winds down. You notice these young guys playing as if there's no clock to worry about. You know, they could have very easily, hey, we take a knee, we run the thing out, we get out of here. They're playing this thing out with full effort. It's fun to see. It's nice to see. And you talk about the great young men we've met during this bowl season. They've all been tremendous. It's been a lot of fun meeting all of them. And I want to go to Glenn Dorsey's hometown of Gonzales Jambalaya Festival every year.
Sounds good. Slant by Hartline, and he will race into the end zone for a touchdown. So with 1:13 left, it makes it a 38-24 game with a point after.
Yeah, go kick the extra point, and then you know we're going to line up for an onside kick. There's no way Jim Tressel is playing this thing out, but not going to play this thing out. There's just no way. That's not part of who he is, nor would Les Miles do it the same way on the other side. Nice throw by Beckman. Well-thrown ball. Hartline with the catch. Breaks a tackle and gets into the end zone.
Pretorius with a point after to make it a 14-point spread with 1:13 to go. $79,651 Superdome record tonight. And again, a reminder, our DirecTV post-game coverage coming your way, the trophy presentation, the most outstanding players, and final thoughts. Our All-State BCS National Championship game produced by Mike Burks, directed by Rich Russo, our associate directors Tom Yohe, Rich Dewey, Darren Foster, our broadcast associates Justin Deutsch and Andy Cavanaugh. Technical producer is Frank Phillips. Pre-game show produced by John Entz, directed by Jonathan X. The senior producer at Fox Sports, Bill Brown. Our executive producers at Fox Sports, Ed Gorn and David Hill. Our thanks to our entire crew on this onside kick. A heavy lift delivered by Malcolm Jenkins. But Charles Scott hangs onto the football. I want to thank our entire crew. They have been here for 2 straight weeks away from their families, leaving just right after Christmas and leading up to New Year's, and they've been here, and we cannot thank them for all of their hard work.
Team number 1, that 5-yard penalty be added on to the end of the possession. First down.
A little offside on the onside kick, but Charles Scott, fitting that he came down with the ball, Tom, because when you talk with the LSU coaching staff, one thing they'll tell you is he's a tremendous offensive football player. We love what he does for us carrying the ball, but he's a terrific special teams guy. You know, think about it. We've seen 5 different backs carry the ball for LSU from the running back position tonight. All of them obviously wanting to compete for carries. But when you don't get that number of carries, you have to contribute in other ways. And that's exactly what Charles Scott has done all year long.
Starting to see the emotion now from Les Miles, 54-year-old Elyria, Ohio husband and father of 4. In his 3rd season at LSU, will bring them a national championship. Of course, you think back to his inaugural year in 2005. In August, Hurricane Katrina hits this region of the country. They cancel their first game of the year. They go and play on the road at Arizona State. They have a
scheduled home game.
Yep, thrilling come from behind 35-31 win. No sooner do they celebrate that, Hurricane Rita hits this area.
Yes.
They lose to Tennessee
on a Monday nighter at home.
And Bo Pelini.
Take that to Nebraska with you, Bo.
That's what I'm talking about.
And if you're a young man who's playing at Nebraska and you play defense, under that guy, you'll have a chance to become the Black Shirts defense again. Remember, they decided they pulled the Black Shirts tradition last year, so they could get it back.
1 minute left to go. Charles, everybody we talked to this senior class, they talked about Katrina.
Yes.
And the lives it affected so many of the players in this senior class who grew up in this city, who grew up in this state. And what LSU football meant to so many then, the campus and all it did to embrace those in a time of need. And now collectively, 2 years later, they'll celebrate a national championship.
You're exactly right. And for a lot of people from the outside looking in, they're saying, how does football help people in that type of a situation? Well, everyone was in such dire straits. They needed one thing to feel good about. And LSU football has been something they felt good about for a long time, and that helped a number of people through a very, very difficult situation.
Well, congratulations to the LSU Tigers, the 2008 All-State BCS National Champions. Let's send it downstairs to Chris Myers.
With senior Glenn Dorsey, and have you seen the papers? LSU #1. Congratulations. What was the difference in the game?
I think we had to get over that first. They came out ready to play, and we just want to sustain that and overcome it and stay within ourselves and play hard.
Were you a little bit nervous to start the game, this team?
I'm always nervous before a game. That's how I know I'm ready. And my team came out and played hard.
There was a chance you might not come back for your senior season. You went through some injuries. You fought hard. Are you glad you did?
Without a doubt, my team is the #1 team in the land, man. Right now, it's great to be an LSU Tiger. I love it. I love my hometown because I love Baton Rouge. I'm great to be a Tiger.
All right, well, there'll be some celebrating tonight. Congratulations. We'll see you in the NFL.
Thanks, man. Y'all take it easy. Thank y'all.
All right. Glenn Dorsey. Tom?
Thank you very much, and thank you, Mr. Dorsey. It doesn't matter if he's going to be playing pro football or not. That young man would be successful whatever avenue he were to take in life ahead. 38-24. LSU defeats Ohio State to win the national championship of college football.
Post-game show on Fox.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the field, Fox Sports, Chris Rose.
Thank you very much. Time right now for the trophy presentation. I want to welcome to the stage from Allstate, Tom Wilson. From the Sugar Bowl, Ray Gendron, Paul Holohan, and from DirecTV, John Gieselman. Gentlemen, welcome. And it is time right now to present the BCS Coaches Trophy presented by DirecTV. For that, I welcome in from the BCS, the Commissioner of the ACC, John Swafford. John.
Thank you, Chris. First of all, on behalf of the institutions and the 11 conferences that make up the BCS, let me congratulate both teams on tremendous seasons and their effort tonight. And now, on behalf of the American Football Coaches Association, it's my pleasure to present the Coaches Trophy, symbolic of the national championship, to Coach Les Miles and the LSU Tigers.
Go for it. Coach, I know it's a big party up here. I know you want to go celebrate with your kids. It has been an amazing year for you guys. So many close games, triple overtime losses. You've had to dispel rumor, call impromptu news conferences. What did you learn about your kids that you didn't know about them back in August?
Nothing. I knew they were competitive. I knew they'd fight like hell. I knew they would win. We had great confidence. I can only tell you, by the grace of God, we're here. But once we got here, we were going to do our best.
3 straight 11-win seasons for LSU. 2 national championships in the last 5 seasons. Have the Tigers become the dominant team in college football?
Well, very humbly, it's one of the great programs in college football. It's a great place to get an education, great place to win championships.
We talked about it last year when you stood on stage after your victory in the All-State Sugar Bowl, what it meant to the people of New Orleans and Louisiana, the entire South, and dealing with Hurricane Katrina. I imagine having about 50,000 of your closest friends here tonight didn't hurt, right?
We enjoy playing in this arena. We enjoy playing in front of the state of Louisiana and the great people of LSU, I promise you.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Time right now to give out the individual honors. The offensive MVP of the game, Matt Flynn. Not a bad way to end your college career.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. It's pretty sweet. A dream come true, it really is.
Listen, you had to bide your time behind Matt Mock and then Jamarcus Russell as well. Did you ever think that, starting at LSU, let alone winning a national championship, was a possibility for this kid from Tyler, Texas?
I never knew, but I dreamt, and I feel extremely blessed to have this last year and to be a part of such a great team and great guys and have such great fans support us, and, we just feel honored to be here and get this opportunity.
You guys went against the #1 defense in the entire country. How were you able to almost drop 40 on them?
Well, just execution. We came out here with the right frame of mind, and, we prepared well. We had a bunch of weeks to prepare for this game, and, we just came out here and executed and just kept hanging in there. And, I give it to our offensive line and the receivers blocking out in the perimeter. They did a great job, and, they're the reason we're standing here.
Career high 4 TD tosses. Matt Flynn, congratulations on that. Time right now for defensive MVP honors, and that goes to a sophomore, Ricky Jean Francois. Come on up here, big boy. I don't think there's a question that your field goal block when it was 10-10 swung the momentum of this game. After that, you guys scored 21 straight points. Was that the big changing point?
I believe so. I believe that was a changing point. Before that, my coach told me, Ricky, just get down low as you can and just come full speed and try to block it. You might don't, but at least you tried. When I did my best, I blocked it, and I was just hoping somebody just picked it up from our team.
Yeah, show me those big hands. Those are big. Yeah, that's not fair. All right, listen, for you personally, it's been a trying season. You were suspended the first 12 games because of some off-field issues. What'd you learn about yourself?
It made me start appreciating everything, my school, my football, my family, everybody around me, my coaches, my friends. It just made me appreciate everything. So when I look at everything now, I'm going to appreciate it. I ain't going to take it for granted no more.
Well, obviously good thoughts on that one. Take those big hands and put it on that championship trophy, my friend. Congratulations. LSU, the first school to win 2 BCS national championships. Tom Brenneman, take it away.
Chris, thank you very much. They will be celebrating deep into the night in New Orleans. Les Miles, many thought he was going to Michigan to try and win a championship. Not so. He's an LSU man.
Rob, Verizon Wireless still has lots of really great phones on sale. Got myself a Venus with a touchscreen.
Get excited all over again. Because some of the hottest LG phones are still on sale at Verizon Wireless. Now buy one music-playing chocolate in your favorite color for $79.99 and get one free. Verizon Wireless.
The U.S. Army Reserve requires a different type of strength. A strength to stand out in school and stand strong with your team. The strength to serve your community one day and your country the next. The strength to take your career to a whole new level. Be a stronger citizen, a stronger soldier, a stronger person in the U.S. Army Reserve. There's strong, and then there's Army Strong. See what it's like at GoArmy.com.
Now when the Saints come marching in, when the Saints go marching in, yes, I want to be in that number. When the Saints go marching in.
Visa makes it easier for NFL fans to get ready for game day. Life takes Visa.
You want big? The biggest events this January are on Fox.
Fight big.
TV's most anticipated new series premieres.
Come with me if you want to live.
Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Great big.
The countdown to the escape is on.
We leave tonight.
All new episodes of Prison Break.
Dream big.
Nothing is bigger.
Oh my.
Go. Then the American Idol premiere.
Live big.
The most controversial show ever. The moment of truth. This January, the biggest events, the boldest network, Fox. They will rise from every walk of life, from every corner of the country, with the same dream. End, only one will become the next American Idol. Dream big. Tuesday, January 15th on Fox.
Welcome back to the DirecTV postgame show on Fox.
Let's send it back downstairs to Chris Rose, and all of a sudden a standing room only crowd.
All right, Tommy, thank you. This pretty much says it all. Jimmy Johnson, real quickly, your thoughts.
Well, I think the main thing about this LSU team, they're battle tested. I think the level of competition every week made them ready for this ball game. Urban, what about you? What do you think about them?
I know one thing, the SEC just got a little tougher.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm hearing all the SEC talk right now, and I just felt like Ohio State might have gotten out-coached a little bit on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, guys, congratulations. You're the first team to win 2 BCS national championships. Tell America how good it is. Guys, when we come back, Tom Brenneman and Charles Davis with final thoughts.
Hey, Derek, what's the deal with the special burger?
Well, why don't you try calling it by its proper name, Jason? It's called the Special Secret Double Deluxe Bistro Burger.
I'll be sure to do that. How do you make it?
Well, you get you some raw meat, you ball it up, and put it on a plate.
That sounds gross. Derek? Hey, man, I didn't mean... You want raw meat on a plate, you got it.
Switch to the network you can trust, AT&T. Get our exclusive smartphones, now only $99.99.
Do I want to continue? Of course. I'm not paying. Schwab is. It's their new checking account. Schwab refunds all ATM fees at any ATM. Plus, they are giving me this ridiculously high interest rate. I mean, my money was just sitting in my old checking account, just kind of sitting there.
Fox Sunday.
The future begins now.
The most anticipated new television series of the year will knock you on your feet.
No one is ever safe.
300's Lena Headey stars in Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles. The 2-night premiere event begins Sunday at 8/7 Central on Fox.
There are 114 points where sound is dampened, 43 sensors for comfort, 23 sensors for safety, and 7 sensors to monitor the sensors. Behind every detail, there's a detail. See your Northern California Lexus dealer.
California faces a looming fiscal crisis. Additional revenue is vital.
We just reached a historic bipartisan agreement with the California Indian gaming tribes, and that will mean billions and billions of dollars over the next 2 decades.
For public safety, local and state law enforcement,
senior citizens,
education.
Vote yes for billions of dollars for California families. Vote yes for California.
Welcome back to the DirecTV postgame show on Fox.
Final score from the All-State BCS National Championship game. The LSU Tigers 38, the Ohio State Buckeyes 24. We'd certainly like to thank everyone. The bowl committees, the BCS officials, especially the players and the coaches, the sports information directors, and all the great fans that have been with us for the BCS Bowl Bash here on Fox. And we do have a minute to take a peek ahead. Next year, we'll be coming your way from Miami, the 2009 FedEx BCS National Championship game here on Fox. Cannot thank all of our crew enough for their hard work. Promotional consideration paid for by the following: For Charles Davis, Chris Myers, and our entire crew, Tom Brenneman saying thanks so much for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next January.
This has been a presentation of Fox Sports, home to the BCS, Super Bowl 42, the Daytona 500, the World Series, and FoxSports.com, the world's favorite sports site.